All right. We're here in Langtree.
Langtree?
It's a little windy, so you have to bear with us. There's no escape from the wind, which I guess that's just going to be part of the experience.
Yeah.
We haven't made a clip for what feels like a long time.
A lot has happened.
A lot has happened. Let's try to pick up from where we were. We did make a clip at the Fort Clark thing that night.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure we did. I just can't remember doing it.
That's what happens when you get a six-pack.
Oops. Wish I had one now. Yeah. You're welcome to have some of this.
Okay.
Little sad girl. Can't plan.
There's no beers here.
No, there's nothing here.
It's a tragedy. But there is.
Oh, there is. Yeah, we'll get to that. So we left Fort Clark in the morning. Had a pretty good spot. A very good spot.
Oh, you have to talk about
the debacle with that dude. It was like not super interesting, but
just so pointless and dumb.
Yeah, we went to the front desk, kind of. Well, not the front gate for the fort. They told us that we would settle up in the morning, and so we went to settle up. And
because
then,
apparently you had to pay for that camping, which didn't have any amenities whatsoever.
No water, no bathrooms.
It was literally just a spot in the dirt.
It was perfect.
It was flat, and they had a picnic table and a little barbecue grill.
Yeah.
And we burned our pizza boxes.
Yeah. There were children, annoying children.
Yeah, they kept coming really close to us too. I was like, "Why are you here?
Yeah, go away."
Go away.
So anyway, we went up to the gate to try to pay for the campsite, and you had said that we should just go.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I kind of agree, but I feel like that's bad karma. And so I made an effort to pay the woman who was at the gate, but she couldn't accept money, and then she was like trying to get in touch with the guy who had originally...
She was like, you need to go back to the office.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do that.
Which was like 2 miles
We
back
didn't know.
into the complex.
It was uphill.
We didn't even stay at the RV park. We stayed at the wilderness camp area. So
we were ready
didn't
to
even
go.
know. Yeah, we were packed up and like had to poop in the morning, and she was like, "Oh, you have to go back and pay there." Meanwhile, like, the guy told us yesterday that it was $6 for camping, so we couldn't believe that it was such a big deal. Also, we were obviously on bikes, no other transportation, so 2 miles backwards was kind of like a big deal.
Yeah, it's just
and
annoying.
pointless.
And uphill again.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a big
and it's not
hill,
on
but...
route at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a nice place to camp. And it was a great night.
Yeah. And so, after much ado about nothing, truly, the guy came down who had told us we would settle up in the morning. And then he also told me, you had already left at this point, but he was like, yeah, I'm going to have to take you up to the, I don't know, some place where they have like a cash register. And I was like, oh, God damn it. And so I was like, it was like my first time I've ever haggled myself out of a situation. I was like, I've got $10, like, since there was no water and no bathrooms, could we just like call it even if I just give you a $10 bill? And he made me fill out this little receipt thing.
Lol.
And then we left. Went to a Subway. That was great.
Yeah.
Good breakfast option. It was blazing hot in a weird way. I remember being very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Whoa. We were outside. We were on the east side of this building, and the sun, it wasn't hot outside, but the reflection of all the sunlight just really heated me up. And so we were eating breakfast in this blazing sun, and we saw these people come by. They had like a cargo, like a Ford Transit low top with bikes on top of it, and I just started screaming out, "Posers, posers!" And they had like this really nice Mercedes Sprinter van behind that.
Camper van.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a guided tour of the Southern Tier. And so
it was.
Yeah, and the guy who was driving the van got out and started setting up little things for the people who were going to be coming up, going eastbound.
He said his job was to sit there and make sure they didn't miss the turn.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
I
to
thought
get
that was
paid
kind of
for
weird.
that.
Yeah.
To just drive around the desert all day and then sit in a little lawn chair and tell people where to turn.
It would suck to have to like kill time.
Yeah.
Like,
he was so jealous of us.
Yeah, he was. He had done the Southern Tier and I guess the Trans Am too.
Yeah.
But he's one of a million people who is in their golden years who always been just like saying
Sunset golden years.
yeah, just like I wish I had done this when I was younger. It's like I'm glad that we don't ever have to end up saying that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, we're glad we got it out of our system when we were younger because now
So
we're
now
ready
we
to
can chill.
Yeah. Mhm.
But maybe not.
Who knows?
But maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, he came over. I went to the bathroom, and he came over and he started talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came out and we had a little bit of a chat. And yeah, he'd set up like little chairs for the people.
Yeah,
they had
water
snacks and
station.
stuff. Later, I looked up the organization. Cycle of Life was the name of the company that he was with, and it's $13,000 to do this trip. And that's just like, I think that includes a lot of the. I don't.
I'm sure that
includes
includes
a
like
lot,
accommodations.
it
Like
does.
every time you're in a town, you stay at a
Hotels,
hotel and like breakfast,
Yeah.
catered meals. I think didn't you say it was like breakfast is provided, picnic lunch is provided.
Yeah.
Maybe not dinner. I don't know, but still $13,000. Like we couldn't spend that much if we tried doing this. I mean, I guess if we tried.
Yeah,
But
there is
like,
some
and we're
up the
2
road.
people.
Yeah.
But it was 13 a person. And then he also said that the median age for his group of, I guess, 6 or 7
yeah.
cyclists was 65. The youngest being 55 and the oldest being 74. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, and so when we rolled out, we ended up seeing
We
all
saw
those people.
all of them.
There was a couple on a tandem. No one had like barely any gear. I don't know where they were coming from, but like the first
Probably
person.
Del Rio. Because he said
Yeah,
they did
probably.
a 120 from Sanderson to Del Rio. And then they probably stayed in a hotel there.
Wow, this
So-
is like one of my actual hairs.
Yeah, that's what happens with leggings.
Huh. That's worth shaving my legs for. But yeah, it was interesting just because like the first person who showed up before we left, his bike had nothing on it. I think it was a guy,
Yeah.
and all he
They
had
literally
was
only
one
have
water
one
bottle.
water bottle.
One.
It's like an empty bike, probably carbon fiber, the most expensivest
Yeah.
bikes.
Yeah. Good
And,
bikes to be doing
Man,
something
they're
like
just
that.
cruising. But they did have a headwind, so we felt a little luckier than them.
Yeah.
We don't get catered picnic lunch, but we make do without. Honestly, I wouldn't want to do it that way.
It's lame.
Like, it would
I
be-
was thinking that too.
Yeah, it
'Cause
would be fun with like the camaraderie of the group, so you could all like get to the top of a climb together and be like, "Damn, that was hard," and talk to your friends and take pictures.
Yeah.
But like that's the only positive. Everything else is just like,
There's no freedom of motion too.
Yeah.
Like, what if you want to keep going?
what if you don't want to do a 120-mile day?
What
But-
if you do? What if you want to do a 240-mile day?
But you can't because like that's the schedule and you
Yeah.
have to do it. And you're 74 years old and your knees are about to give out.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I can't imagine that. But they
Mhm.
all seemed like they were doing well.
They were all
They all
happy.
waved at us. It was
Yeah.
cute.
And we saw a few other people who were not with the group later on.
Yeah,
or maybe that
yesterday
was-
and today.
Yeah, yesterday and today.
We've
Everyone
seen-
going east.
Yeah, everyone.
But apparently there's some people behind us that are
Yeah.
traveling with a dog.
Mhm.
And so we may or may not see them tonight. Kind of seems doubtful, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah.
It was not a hard day going west.
No, not at all. Tempting to keep going, but the next town is 60 miles away. We've already done 60 miles.
Yeah.
And we know what's in Sanderson, and it's not much. So
Yeah.
to have a place where you can camp, there's water, bathrooms, no food or beer, but what can you expect?
It would take us at least 4 hours to do 60
Yeah,
miles.
that would
north.
be rough.
Yeah, we'd be there at 9 o'clock at the best, and probably later than that because of stops and breaks and snacks. So we're in a good place.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't even finish yesterday. So we ended up getting to Del Rio.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bike shop there, and I was desperate to get some leg sleeves because my legs have
Why?
been really burning. And went to this bike shop. It was a really terrible shop. Just messy and disorganized, and the guy who worked there, I'm guessing he's like the proprietor of it, just didn't really, it just felt very unprofessional to me, which is easy for a bike shop to do. I don't think it's a very professional profession, or at least it lends itself to unprofessionalism. And I was just very turned off by it, kind of like the cafe we just went to, I think, for you. I didn't even want to look around because it was just so disorganized and chaotic. But yeah, we didn't find anything, and you had mentioned earlier that you were like interested in trying to find a hotel in the next
We had been
3.
talking about it for a while. That's always been our backup plan, like we've said before. Like if we get kicked out of a campsite, we'll just go to a motel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been on my mind for like the past couple days, especially that night when we thought we were gonna get kicked out, and then it didn't happen, so
Which
we didn't
night?
get the motel. I don't really remember.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you just mentioned it, but it's been on my mind. We hadn't stopped anywhere since Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and we were on the Mexican border, so I was like, why not? We made it pretty far.
Yeah. So.
And also, we have to plan these desert days like pretty strategically because the towns are so far apart and they're so limited in their resupply and like provisional options. So we're kind of forced to. Well, we weren't forced to do that 30-mile day, but we got to Del Rio. It was like 3 o'clock already. We spent a long time at Subway and the gas station. We didn't leave till like 10:30.
Yeah.
So we got to Del Rio at like 3 or 4.
It was not 3. It was
Really? Was
yeah,
it 2?
It was like 1:30.
No
I think.
way.
Yeah, because we went to. I mean, it's not a big deal. But
yeah, I guess
we
we
were
went to
we were like
Walmart and
killing
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
So we ended up. We were trying to figure out if we could go to a hotel between here, like either in Comstock, here and we
Langtree.
kind of knew that Langtree wouldn't work.
Although there is a motel here.
There is, yeah, with one room apparently.
Or Sanderson.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of thinking like maybe 2 days until that. But we had done 30 miles and we just stopped there.
Yeah, so we called a bunch of hotels because if we were going to stop at a hotel, we wanted definitely to have laundry because otherwise it would really not be worth stopping.
Yeah.
But we found a Motel 6 and it had everything we needed and everything we wanted. It was relatively inexpensive. We went,
Right next to our 2 favorites, Walmart and McDonald's.
Yeah, it was great. So we got to the Motel 6, checked in, walked over to Walmart for a desert resupply, and I went on like a long beer search, longer than I wanted to.
You do it to yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm very picky. I mean, we had 2 Miller, what are these, lights tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 between the 2 of us, which is a
Very
fucking
sad.
bummer. But anyway, yeah, so found some beers. It was a very nice, fun, relaxing night.
Yeah.
We watched the news for a bit, the Asian shootings in Atlanta. It's pretty fucked up.
Terrible.
Yeah, hard to believe. In a clip that I had actually deleted, I had, like, in very poor taste, made jokes about how Asian racism isn't a thing.
I don't think you necessarily made jokes about it. You just said it wasn't true.
Yeah,
And I was
I was drunk at my aunt and uncle's house, and I was just bullshitting and saying stuff that was not true and dumb. But it's just weird because now, not only did like some terrible Asian racism occur, but it happened in Atlanta, in a place that I'm actually like somewhat familiar with the location of.
And tied into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to get caught up on. Every time we stop at a place and watch the news, there's like
Seems
some
like
weird
it.
fucking bullshit that's happened.
Yeah. And honestly, most of it's like national news, like not just local crazy stories. Like this is impacting the whole nation. Like I made the prediction that I don't think there's going to be any huge protests and movements that happen out of this particular act of racism, because it is like not on the forefront and it seems to be of a lesser degree. But when we were having that conversation, I was like, it's really real. I'm trying to defend it.
Yeah.
And it is real and it's tragic.
Yeah. I hope that guy gets a death penalty.
Well, yeah, it's another topic.
It's interesting, too, because I'm listening to this clip that the Scarborough dude had mentioned from this guy named Sam Harris, who is, his philosophy is that free will is not real. And so it's interesting because the implications of free will not being real is that you have to have more compassion for people who do stuff like that, like who shoot up Asian massage parlors or whatever it was, because there's like, this wind is probably like terrorizing this clip, but the idea is just basically that like you actually, none of your thoughts or actions are actually things that you are in control of. And Sam Harris is using this example of like just like trying to what?
It's tired.
Oh yeah, trying to. I don't think it's better to put it up. I think it's probably better to keep it down. You are the windscreen. It's getting windier.
Yeah.
But anyway, just it's an interesting exercise to contemplate whether or not free will is a thing, because again, like he's saying, the implication is that you'd have to have more compassion for everyone, because no one is in control of anything that they think or do or say. It's just sort of an inevitability based on like determinalism or determinalism, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so got Taco Bell. That was great.
Yeah.
And we went to bed pretty early. It was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Got up this morning at around 8. Had a nice morning.
I wonder if people know what that means yet.
They will now. And headed out to McDonald's, our favorite.
Yeah.
And we had intended on making a clip there, but I thought it was too windy, and so now here we are again, and it's probably too windy again. So apologies for that. But
it was a great day.
Yeah.
60 miles flew by. Like
it was
nothing.
easy. It was so easy.
Yeah.
The terrain was not bad. Like the hills that we had to climb weren't hard, and the tailwind made everything that much easier.
Yeah.
And there's a cool amount of things to see.
Yeah, man. This shit's like open.
Yeah.
Like, you go up a hill and you come down the other side and you can see for like miles and miles.
Mm-hmm.
It's the desert. Everyone keeps saying it's not the desert, but it's totally the desert. It's the Chihuahuan Desert.
Yeah.
The North Mexican Desert, which is awesome. The most biodiverse desert in the world.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's
This
what the
one
sign
is?
said.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Chihuahuan, yeah.
Huh.
With plant life, animal life.
Well, maybe that's what they mean then, because a real desert probably wouldn't have all that stuff.
Yeah, that's probably true. But we did see our first saguaros today.
A couple of them,
which
yeah.
was a check off of the bucket list.
Yeah, we had not seen any of those during the
Ever.
previous time we had been in Texas.
Yeah.
And we're
They're
getting...
awesome.
They are. We're getting close to the point where we've actually been here before.
Yeah,
which
tomorrow.
If you go back and listen to the Vanlyfe episodes of season 1, when we were in Texas and going to Big Bend with Charlie and everything, the farthest east we went in southern Texas was Sanderson, which we'll be going through tomorrow. Probably staying at tomorrow because that's the
60 miles.
Yeah, hopefully there's beer there.
There's a gas station, I'm sure.
There's a Stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And so it's just interesting. I didn't intend or really even acknowledge that we'd be retracing some of our steps that we had done.
Yeah, no way. Didn't think.
And again, we're on 90, which it's crazy
Yeah.
because if you follow 90 east, you go all the way back to Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know how far, I don't remember where 90 ends in Florida, but we were on 90 for many, many days.
I don't know if it does end. I mean, if it keeps coming all the way out here, it's got to stay connected somehow.
Well, I mean, like where it ends in Florida. I don't know if
Oh.
it takes them all the way to wherever I don't know, is it St. Augustine or wherever if you're going eastbound on the southern tier. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
But
You probably don't stay on 90 the whole time.
no, I'm
There's
sure
no
you
way.
don't. That would be a shitty ride.
Because 90 sucks.
It does.
Not out here as much.
Yeah, it's
but
fine out here.
It's like the most populated road when you get into towns. It's like where all the motels are, the restaurants, bars, dumb people driving loud trucks and loud music.
No shortage of that in Del Rio either.
Yeah.
And this is a far cry from Del Rio too. This is like, it's just interesting. Again, we've said it a million times, but American cities, there's nothing really all that cool about them. And every time I think we go through one, it's kind of not a disappointment, but we just kind of know that there's nothing worth seeing.
Yeah.
Because at least for the reasons that we're out here.
Yeah. We don't care about museums and history. Don't care about like local. Well, we kind of can't care about like restaurants and bars and stuff because of COVID, so that's like already automatically off the list. Not trying to meet people, not trying to do anything like. Yeah.
It's a good place.
They're nightmares for camping.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you get a hotel, you kind of just like stay cooped up in there the whole time until you have to leave, and then get out of the city as quickly as you can. Which is what we do, and then we come to places like this.
And it's just kind of surreal.
Yeah, we're welcomed. We have like the provisions that we need mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, though, we got here in Langtree,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like a museum here.
The only thing that seems to be like in good condition and
Yeah.
operational.
What was it called? Judge something Bean?
Roy Bean.
Judge Roy Bean.
Yeah,
So,
he
yeah.
made this town.
Which
He ruled it with an iron fist.
well, harsh punishment.
Hard
and harsh.
liquor and hard justice.
That
It's
sounds
dead.
good to me. Is it?
Yeah.
Well, keep talking then for a minute. Tell them about the tour that we did.
We did a tour. We saw some cacti. Saw some historic buildings. The lady was really nice, and she told us about this place that Southern Tier cyclists are allowed to camp, so that's where we currently are now, at this community center. And it has signs like camping allowed, tents here, no tents past here. So we know that we're allowed to be here, and that's a really nice feeling. And yeah, kind of just like waiting for the sun to set, gonna have dinner. I'm sure it'll be a fine night as long as the wind isn't too ferocious. Apparently it's supposed to be windy. Oh, that's the other thing too. We went through a border patrol station today, which was pretty funny and pretty anxiety inducing for me personally. But like, I wasn't too worried. I still am not, because like border patrol, they're looking for illegal immigrants and illegal drug trades, like huge things going on that they need to be aware of. So we were in this line of cars, we pulled up, the guy was really nice, we talked to him for a while, didn't even ask for our IDs or anything, he just asked if we were American citizens, and we were like, yeah.
Yep.
He saw our white skin and heard our accents, and I'm sure he wasn't worried. But yeah, it said there were canine units on duty, and I was like, damn. Which I also had the thought, like, dogs are my best friend, but also my worst enemy.
Ball.
Like, I love dogs, and they're so cute, but they could also get me in a lot of trouble, and they are scary when they chase you, and
Yeah.
they can be really mean, so.
For sure.
But nothing happened. It was
Yeah.
interesting, though. We've seen a lot of border patrol, and I'm sure we will pretty much all the way to San Diego.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying too, I think before we started recording, like we're so close to the Mexican border. As we look out onto this little canyon that's like across the road from us, more or less, it could very easily be Mexico that we're looking into. And that's kind of interesting to be so close to that.
We did pass over this bridge today. There was like a huge canyon. It looked really epic. There was a river at the bottom. But I swear the guardrail was like 2 feet high.
Yeah.
I was kind of scared because it was windy. And I was like, damn, if there's like a huge gust of wind and you topple over the side of this bridge, like,
Yeah.
you're done for.
But then
it was like at least 100 feet,
Yeah.
if not more, probably like 150, maybe 200, down to the river, and it looked shallow and rocky and kind of scary, but it was obviously fine. It's
Obviously.
always fine.
Yeah, going over it was pretty uneventful.
Yeah, but it looked really cool, and we've seen lots of cool features,
Mhm.
desert features.
Yeah.
We're in the scenic parts,
Yeah, man.
which is great. We got here so quickly. Thank
Mhm.
God we didn't do the whole southern tier, because we would still be in Florida. And it'd be
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, I feel like we don't even need to,
No.
honestly, because if you stretch out the,
we don't
the
need to
length
do
of Florida,
this. We just want to.
Yeah.
And we want to do the exciting, enjoyable, scenic parts.
and this is it for
this
sure.
is it.
Yeah, but if you take the amount of distance we went through Florida, I think it would have probably taken us all the way to Texas if we had started
Yeah.
in the actual area where the southern tier begins.
Yeah.
Maybe. But in any case, yeah, we're here. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, might have 2 dinners.
Yeah, maybe me too. I've got 2 couscous. I've got couscous.
Cusco.
But yeah, good spot.
Yeah.
Might have some friends come by. Who knows?
Hopefully. I want to see their dog. It might be cool.
Yeah, they
We
could
need
be.
a tramley.
Man, yeah, we're always making tramleys. But yeah, so tomorrow will be Sanderson, and again, that's when we were in the van. That was the farthest east in Texas that
Yeah.
we went, and it'll be fun to go back through there because we know kind of generally a little bit about
We
that
know
area.
what's there, and it's
Yeah.
not much, but
Yeah.
we think there's decent camping and there's a gas station, so we should be good. But from here to Sanderson, there's nothing.
Yeah, there is a town
60
that has a
miles.
red star that says nothing, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think, if we have another tailwind tomorrow, which, no guarantees with that,
Yeah.
I think that we'll have plenty of water to get there because I didn't really drink a ton today,
Me
nor
neither.
did I feel like I needed to.
It's not too hot,
No, it's not.
which is nice.
Yeah, but, yeah, it'll be nice to get into town and
Yeah.
lick our wounds. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man. It's nice out here.
Yeah.
It's nice. Bird friend. Whoa. Wow. He's cruising.
Well, hopefully this clip hasn't sounded like terrible garbage. And hopefully we have a good night.
Yeah. I wouldn't see why not.
There's always possible reasons. Immigrants.
That would help them.
What did you say? Tu es necessari?
Tu necesito agua o comida. Do you need water or food? Let me help you. I'm a friend, not a police.
Let me help. Cool.
Cool.
Well, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.